Hey, so this is my newborn daughter, Penelope, and I wanted to send a quick video to anyone watching. We are approaching 3 years with this grand experiment here of creating multiple businesses. April 2023, I suddenly found myself unemployed from my own company. You might hear a foghorn in the background. I'm here in beautiful Victoria. And so some of what I wanted to post over the next while is kind of that journey post-entrepreneurship and re-entrepreneurship. And it's been a pretty cool one. It's been pretty fucking scary though, I'll tell you that. Scary like having a baby. Actually like weirdly similar. So I wanted to talk about some of what I've experienced this fall. 2 years ago, I kind of slowly and surely found myself in a coaching relationships with people. So the thing that I found that was cool about it was this took my sweet time. And if you're going to be starting professional services business, I do think this slowly and surely kind of either doing it as a favor to someone, trading time, building that book of business can take a while. And for me, it actually was it was intentional, because when I spent summer 2023 thinking what next, it was just something that I wanted to do for this phase of my life. I called it going from captain to coach. And the story I tell people is that I spent way too much time reflecting on Ted Lasso, and I took the wrong lesson from it. I really love the Roy Kent character. And when you're an entrepreneur and a solo entrepreneur, it's scary. You feel alone all the time, even if you have staff. Almost like, especially if you have staff. And man, what a view, eh? Yeah, you gotta love where you live. Anyway, I really wanted to come alongside other entrepreneurs, other founders, and I do think, I have a belief that the idea is only a very small part of entrepreneurship. You can take any idea and just go. It's kind of two key things. One is like building alliances, so it doesn't have to be other employees, subcontractors. Like working with other entrepreneurs is huge. That's why I built a group of people who are calling the Irregulars, for us to stay connected to one another. But is building alliances and then adapting. And so kind of the long short of where we've gotten with Baker Street is we've added 2 full-time roles. And part of it for me was going, oh, okay, how could I build a coaching organization and not just be a coach? A lot of you might be in, there's that foghorn again, in self-employment mode. And this is a very precarious position to be in. You're essentially employed just like everyone else, but you fill 2 seats, which is employer and employee. You're the one financing your own job, and you can only assess yourself so much, and you can only rely on yourself, right? Like it's that loneliness part again. And so I did manage to get a decent portfolio of clients. What's cool is we don't have any contracts, so every day is renewal day, and that's thanks to a friend who's a key person at a platform, and they don't do the contract thing. And it reminded me what I wanted to have of coaching was similar to therapy. So those of you guys that I'm coaching, like that's secretly the model I follow. But the point being is like, be released when you feel ready, right? Like we don't want to be consultants in any way and trap you in. But for it to be a consulting or a coaching organization, kind of needed to be more than me. And so I spent some time thinking like, what would be the other roles within EOS? So this got super meta, which was there's data, people, processes. These were key areas within the wheel with vision and traction and issues. And I was like, oh, okay, those are working on the business roles. So we added 2 people to our team, Chris and Becca. We've got a people experience lead, data and finance lead. And so now we're better able to help people do 2 key things: understand their organization and understand themselves and their team. These have been huge unlocks for people. And one of the things I like, selfishly, is we've created upsells, we've created value adds, and we've created less reliance on me. So if this happens, I'm able to fuck off, and other people are being kind of contributors to the organization, adding value, enterprise value. And so that's been cool. What I've had to do is bankroll that for a while. And I think MrBeast, of all people, is one of the most useful teachers for this for me. Is when I was a very young entrepreneur, I wanted someone to be producing within a few months. It got very stressful if it's like 6 months in and they're not. And where MrBeast taught me a great lesson, not taught me, he taught all of us, because he's fucking phenomenal online, is how about you spend a year training someone to have them for 10? And so I have, as best as I can, a mentality that I want to have someone journey with me for 10 years. Either going to journey with me for 10 years or like maybe consider them an NPC. And what's been cool about that is I've had a lot of people on my entrepreneurship journey. And so like many of them for multiple companies. What a gift that is. The thing that I'm kind of embracing from it is it's okay if we, in the seat that they are, like we aren't finding that productivity right away. As long as there's that mutual goal for it, that's the ideas that they'll generate from their perspective, of me from mine, that again will generate enterprise value. And that's like, maybe just to end this one particular video, is just one of those reasons why, like, oh, cash is king, you know, like why is it so important? It's like, well, we do want enough of a runway so that we can be wrong lots of times. And it's not wrong in a grand idea, it's menu adjustments. It's going, oh, people didn't quite like it when we phrased it like this, or this isn't an appropriate upsell after this activity. And the more you kind of get through the ways that didn't work, this is like a Thomas Edison. It's like I found 1,000 things that didn't work, and then found one that does. And I don't know, as a dad to 3 wonderful humans, 10 years goes by pretty fast. And I think that's maybe one takeaway from this Baker Street entrepreneurship journey, is try and have 10-year targets, that's EOS, but try and be on a 10-year mission and go with people for multiple years instead of focusing on them, you know, producing for you this day, this week, you know, right off the bat. Let's lean into co-creation, and as best as you can find that runway to be able to invest in someone's growth so that they're there with you for years. Just, it pays off so much. Okay?